Cool. Can we please get going? Questions for Coach Jake White. I see Ashfaq.
Hi, Jake. The smile's back on your face, especially after that second half. What was it at halftime? Because it's like two different teams.
Ashfaq, look, the smile's always been on my face. I've been trying to tell you guys we'll get it right. This is a tough tour. They're the best Italian side. They're one of the top sides in Europe last week, and caught Glasgow on a really good day as well. So, yeah, Ashfaq, the second half was fantastic. Again, we had lots of chances in the first half. We just didn't finish them off, So, and to be fair, two of their penalties, one was a knock-on, went straight, from Kirtley onto a player, 3 points. The other one was, easy offsides penalty. So, to be fair, I think we probably gave them a couple of points there. They got 5 penalties, of which I think 2 or 3 were from silly mistakes that we made. So, yeah, it's a massive relief. I think relief for the players inside the group. They obviously didn't want to come here and lose another game. So I'm really proud of them. I'm proud of the way they stuck together this week and the way we trained. Now they get some return on the way they put effort in, and hopefully we'll get back home and get ourselves ready for a massive clash against the Sharks.
Thank you, Ashfaq. JJ?
Hi, Jake. Do you have, firstly, congrats on the win. Elrich's ankle didn't look too well. Do you have any extent on that?
Yeah, we're going to scan it now, JJ, when I get back to the hotel. He obviously said he heard something go, and that sounds weird, but that's not a bad thing, because generally when you get a syndesmosis, you don't really hear anything, and that's like an 8-week injury. So hopefully it's not too serious. Hopefully if it's something that, as I said, that we can give it a bit of time and get him back on the field. I very much doubt that he'll be available to run on Monday, but as long as we got one game, and then I think we've got 4 weeks off. So, if he misses the next game, maybe by the end of the November month, when we get back into our fixtures, he could be available.
Thank you, JJ. Jan de Koning?
Thank you. Jake, pardon my ignorance, we had load shedding, so I only saw the last 10 minutes, and I heard what the guys said about a second half and a first half. Yes. So before I ask my question, give us a brief overview of exactly what happened tonight.
Yeah, Jan. So, the first half, we had our chances. We kept them out. They didn't score a try, and we defended unbelievably well. But I sort of got the feeling we played all the rugby in our own half, and not because we wanted to. It was just they were squeezing us in our own half. And a lot of times we sort of played some good rugby in our own half, not to get any rewards by getting up the field. So, yeah, the second half, we got rewards by making line breaks and obviously putting their defense under pressure. I thought, again, our defense tonight was outstanding because we put them under pressure and got some turnovers, lots of turnovers at the breakdown and obviously in the tackle. So, yeah, it's wonderful that we can finish off with like 40 points in the second half and a bonus point win, because, I'm not just saying it, but it's a tough place to play. And I'm sure, they lost. The last time they lost was to Connacht, and it was about 2017. The scoreline, which means you don't come here and score that amount of points. So I'm really happy, Jan. I'm happy and I'm proud, because you can imagine, this Bull side is a proud team, and we probably didn't play our best rugby the last 2 weeks.
Given what you just said, and there's been a lot said about the youth of your team and stuff. So can a team really grow? Can the players grow, both in terms of maturity and confidence, from learning what they did in the first half and then what happened in the second half?
Yeah, and I don't think it's just the first half. I think they learned playing in Munster in front of that stadium, in such an iconic place, Stormont Park. They learned by getting to Glasgow and getting run off their feet by a really slick Glasgow team. As I said, and you're right, there's a young team. I look at, even just look at the Stormers side. All front rowers are 30 years old. The two locks are late 20s, or we got 7 forwards in our pack that are lower than 24 years old. So, but I say that we can't rush it. We can't rush experience. We can't rush age. And they're still performing as well as they can. So we just got to keep working, Jan, and whether it's the first half and second half performances tonight, or whether it's last week's, I suppose, lack of physicality against Munster. We got to make sure that we get there week in and week out. And obviously, you get on the plane now, but the Sharks, it doesn't get any tougher than that because they've got a massive team. They're obviously the favourites, I would say, out of the South African Conference with what they have. So we're going to have to obviously recover nicely and get ourselves ready for Loftus next Sunday.
Kenneth?
Yeah,
Jake, you obviously. Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Ken. Sorry, my.
No, I didn't quite hear who it was, so I guess it was me. So you go ahead.
Yes, Kenneth. Kenneth Bolle.
Me? Okay, all right. Thanks, Lunga. Jake, you're obviously delighted now. Well done on the win. But surely at the hour mark, you would have been happy just for a 1 point win, let alone a bonus point.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Ken, but it's funny. I sort of said to the coaching staff in the coach's box, I got a feeling we can finish this off well. It looked as though they were dead on their feet just before half time. And we didn't finish. We basically got onto their try line and turned the ball over. So, maybe the scoreline could have been a bit closer at halftime. But, I think the talk at halftime was we've got them on the ropes. Every time we get down there, it's almost like we're putting them under pressure. So, it's always nice when you go in the change room at halftime and you get the feeling from the players, even if you're 9-3 down, that they genuinely feel as though they're getting an ascendancy there. And it was the feeling at halftime. It was the feeling that if we keep going and bashing the wall and asking questions of their defense, which we did, that the damn wall would break. And I mean, to score 4 tries in the second half is obviously fantastic.
Caleb Mutombo.
Thanks, Lunga. Congratulations, Jake, on the win. Yeah, it does speak to what you said, that we just need to wait and be patient. But of course, you're not there yet, and still a growing process. What are your thoughts on Ambrose Papier and his combination with Chris Smith, and the impact that Monet came on kicking all of his kicks through? The question relies: how long do we still have Monet running on? Will the youngsters learn enough for them to fill their boots and for them to fill his boots next year?
Look, I've got no doubt that Chris Smith is learning from Monet every week. Chris also kicked really well today, and they spent a lot of time together kicking either out of hand or at poles. So there's a massive, I suppose, mentorship that's coming from Monet, which isn't underestimated. It is a learning curve for everybody. I think all the players. I mean, you even look at a guy like Simpiwe, how he's growing. He came on off the bench this week. He started last week. It'll come. The more we put those players in that situation, I think the more they will improve. And nothing better than scoring 40 points in the second half of a game when it could have gone the other way. It's I think Mornay's kicking from the touch lines obviously took the game away from them, because if he misses both those kicks, or especially the first one, then they've got, then it's not 8 points, it's 5 points, or 7, 6 points. So when they score and they win the game. So I think Mornay definitely took the game away from them when he kicked from the touchline and converted those tries.
JJ.
Jake, what do you make of Bismarck's performance tonight? I think he had a really good game for daai ou man, hy kan nog speel.
Yeah. I was very happy with him. I think he's obviously one of those guys you can't use week in and week out, because obviously he's getting on now. But tonight he was obviously switched on. We've been bringing him for a while now, in terms of he was always going to get a start. And I thought Jan Hendrik played well when he came off the bench as well. Scored a good try there from 2 yards out, 4 yards out, and his lineouts were he didn't lose a lineout. So slowly we're getting a bit of depth at hooker with him now. We don't have Krobbies available. So once Krobbies comes back, and we got obviously Jan Hendrik learning from Bismarck as well. And if he learns from Bismarck the way Bismarck played tonight, then we're going to be in a good place.
Mubin.
Hi, good evening, Jake. Congratulations on the victory. I'm sorry, I just joined the press quite late. Just in terms of the first half, Jake, there was a lot of stop and starts, a bit scrappy first half. But second half, you guys seem to find your groove. I think one aspect where you guys really dominated tonight was at the breakdown with Marcel Coetzee, Bismarck, and also Iscom. You must be pleased with that aspect of the play, the breakdown especially.
I am. I'm very pleased. I'm pleased with the defense as well. You know, we didn't get them. I mean, one line break in our 22, they scored. And we scrambled nicely. They got around us once or twice. We scrambled nicely on the edge. But yeah, I mean, breakdown wise, we didn't let them get any rhythm. A little bit, I suppose, what's been happening to us the last couple of weeks is we haven't been able to get quick ball and play against teams. So it was nice that we could do that against, you know, obviously a good team that attacks well. Yeah, and it's something that we got obviously has improved in the last couple of weeks, and having Bismarck and Marku and I suppose Marcel really helps your breakdown as well, because they masters at understanding when to go in and what to do when they do get over the ball.
And then Jake, my final question, this must be sort of a sweet revenge moment for you, because you guys got pumped, you know, in June 2021 in the Rainbow Cup. So tonight must be nice and sweet, eh?
Yeah, Mubin. I mean, I must say, we don't talk about the fact that, I mean, obviously we stand here and it was a day game, and we probably got, as someone said, we got ambushed. And when we looked again, you know, they played really well against us. So, but you know, that's not long gone. I think there's a lot more to our game now, a lot more to our players now. We've obviously grown as a group as well, and it's wonderful now that we can get a win. It's very difficult to win here, as I said earlier. I mean, Connacht did that in April this year, so that's not many teams come here and win. So to get a win and a bonus point win is obviously good for us.
All the best, Jake. Safe travels.
Thank you. Thanks, Mubin. Thank you.
Thanks, Lunga. Coach Jake, I'm just curious, with regards to playing Marcel Coetzee and Marco van Staden as 6 and 7, did you intentionally put the number 7 on the open side flank van Staden to sort of, I guess, equal what the Europeans do with their number 7, having them as an open sider instead of a blind sider?
Yeah, Cebu, I must be honest, I don't know what happened there. I mean, I didn't do it. I think we put the jerseys out and they just chose which one they wanted to wear. You know, maybe the more senior guy chose the one he wanted, and the other guy took the one that was left over. So yeah, I'm not phased either way. I mean, they were both very good tonight. And if it means they're going to play like that every week, we'll leave those numbers the same.
I thought it was a clever way to sort of play in a New Zealand or Australian style.
Yeah. Well, okay, Cebu, I'll take the credit. Thanks, man. That was always the intention.
Leighton Koppel.
Thank you. Hello, Jake. Jake, just you touched slightly on it, the importance of coming back in the second half. I mean, things could have gone south where you just didn't pitch up to come back. Just in terms of the confidence in this group going forward, knowing that they can produce this type of comeback, how important is that?
Yeah, Leighton, I mean, you think about it, 2 losses in a row, 9-3 down away from home. I mean, how much more character can you show than what they did in the second half? And again, credit to them, credit to the captain, credit to the belief in the squad. And that is sometimes the catalyst you need just to jumpstart where you need to be. You know, I can think of many times last year when we were, you know, certain things happened where it was the catalyst for us to turn our season around. And who knows, maybe this away win, you know, an away bonus point win and a 40-pointer in the second half, and, you know, get rid of what happened here a couple of years ago is maybe what we needed as a group. And I can sense in the change room they relieved, but it wasn't because they didn't work for it. They relieved because now whatever they put in this week, they got a reward for. So we'll fly back and then we will obviously play Sunday. So we've got a bit of a longer turnaround, and I'll get back and see who's fit and who's not available. And then hopefully we'll put a team together that will be ready for the Sharks on the weekend.
We will take 3 more questions, beginning with Caleb, and then we'll go to Simon, and then we will finish with Ashfaq. Caleb?
Thanks, Lunga. Jake, a lot has been said about defense with the Bulls, especially considering the changes in your coaching department. How pleased were you with how you kept the Italian side away when they reached your 22? It seemed like on 3 or 4 occasions you were able to win a turnover or get something out of the head that allowed you to get out of the red zone.
Yeah, Caleb, I was reading today, Neil Powell was talking about the Sharks and saying that they've had 3 defense coaches in the last couple of years. We probably had the same. We had Pine Pino, then we had Joey, and now I'm obviously taking over. And he himself admits it's very difficult to get a new system in place. Some of the things that we had last year that didn't work probably creep into our game now and then as well. We've got to try and change that. But obviously tonight's performance shows that when we do it right, we can defend well. So, what we got to try and avoid is that 1 week good, 1 week bad. That's the test. We play the Sharks next week, and I'll ask different questions. They attack differently. They play to different strengths. So, the ability for us to adapt is probably the secret.
Simon?
Thanks, Lunga. Jake, well done, and you and your team. Just taking 1 or 2 elements from what we've just spoken about and the defense part. Surely you must be missing a guy like Joey Mongalo, and not only the value that he brought as a defense coach, but also being part of your squad. And the follow-up on that is: are you penciling in somebody else there? Are you looking towards somebody else there to fill that gap? And secondly,
Simon, I don't want to. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
No, continue.
No, I'm saying you were breaking up. It was coming and going. Your signal. Yep.
Sorry, I'm at Loftus, so it must be breaking up. Yeah, sure. The other question that you got it about Joey, but the other question that I have is: it's not long now that you will be losing your captain, and surely you must be looking towards somebody already penciling in and looking at the leadership in the team. Have you gone there yet?
Yes. Yes. So 2 things I must say, Simon. We don't miss Joey. I mean, I think no one's irreplaceable. And as I said to you, some of the things we did last year didn't work. I think we had the worst defense in all the South African sides. We had the 12th worst defense in the competition, and the worst in the top 8. So, yeah, I mean, I think we've moved on from that. I can't every week start answering questions about Joey Mongale. The reality was he's taken another post. He wants to go and coach in another union. He wants to be a head coach, doesn't necessarily want to be an assistant coach. And with that comes change, So as I said to you just now, I mean, when there's change, there's been a couple of defensive coaches at the Bulls in the last couple of years, and I'll take it on myself that now I'm trying to get it right. And sometimes defensively tonight we were outstanding. Against Connacht we were outstanding. The other games and we probably, we leaked a few tries, but not forgetting when we played Edinburgh, we played with 13 men for a while because we had, obviously had an injury in the front row and then got a yellow card. So yeah, I need to hit that on the head, Simon, and say to you that we're not missing the guy. He's moved on, and we can't every time we have a bad defensive performance say that we're missing him because we had I'm gonna repeat myself. We had the 12th worst defense in the competition last year, and we would have had to change the way we defended last year anyway. So that's the first question. The second question is, yeah, I have picked a captain. I already announced it, and there's been a handover period in these last couple of weeks where the new captain, and I won't announce it now until we officially do it, but the new captain's learning from Marcel on things that need to be done, things that need to be said, things that need to be planned before the game, things that need to be in place at practice. And when he does leave, then the new guy will take over, and I will announce it to you guys.
Final question, Ashfaq.
Jake, just a second off. You said after last year's tour that you guys went to have some introspection and the penny dropped and you managed to change things. The penny dropped tonight as well, because just that second off, it seemed like the guys were just so much more confident with bowling and taking on the defense instead of worrying about the breakdown, whatever. And that flow was there again.
Yeah, look, Ashfaq, I think there's no doubt. It's like anything in rugby. When you're getting go forward ball and you can run onto the ball, you play so much better. And I think all the work we did in the beginning of the first half, and as I said, in the first half itself, made sure there were windows for us to attack in the second half. So, you know, we were hard on the ball. We defended well. They didn't want to. Eventually, they turned the ball over a few times, either knocking it on or, you know, or losing it in contact. So, you know, then all of a sudden you get quick ball or turnover ball, and we scored. I mean, the last try we scored from a turnover ball, you know, so from literally inside our own half. So, yeah, it's definitely something that it's not unique to the Bulls. I think any team gets go forward ball and he's on the front foot and feels a bit of confidence because you've got a couple of points on the board and probably the bonus point already. It's probably easier to attack like that.
Just finally, Jake, do you know yet which of your BOK players will be available for the Sharks game, or is there A players? Or
No. So how it's going to work, Ashfaq, is they all going to go to a camp now. I think they assemble on Sunday, and by Wednesday, whoever isn't selected for the 25-man squad for the Island Test, which is the first test match, will be sent back to their provinces. So I suppose what we've got to do is firstly find out, you know, when the national selectors decide on their 25-man squad, or, you know, then obviously whoever's not in that 25-man squad that travels on Saturday will then come back on Wednesday and be available to play for their provinces on the Sunday.
Coach, there was a request to get your comments on the victory by the under-21s, winning the SA Rugby Under-21 Cup.
Yeah, look, I mean, obviously someone asked me last week, I think Simon did. It's fantastic, or this week, beginning of the week. It's fantastic that our junior side win. I mean, it's great for the Bulls. We, you know, obviously in the last couple of years, I think it's the 6th or 7th trophy we've won as a union. And as director of rugby, it's obviously fantastic for me. You know, it's fantastic for the union that the young boys coming through get that winning feeling as well, understand the importance of winning junior tournaments. And yeah, I mean, now we're going to an under-19 tournament, and hopefully we'll be able to, you know, obviously play well in that under-19 tournament as well. So yeah, it's been a good day for us at the Bulls, winning the juniors today, and obviously getting a away win with the senior team.
Thanks for covering that.